Hey guys, what's going on? Well, I got a few things in. I'm trying to make this quick, but it's never quick with me. Just got a Model 3 housing in. Guy said it was a 9.0. It's not. I had to do quite a bit of cleaning on it. Got it from Bat Labs, and it's not a bad one. It's got a couple scuffs and scratches on the front, which is kind of disappointing, but for the price I paid for it, I can't bitch too much. Just got to watch buying on there. He sent it with tracking and never got a hold of me to tell me that it shipped. Kind of a pain in the ass. Anyway, got this in. This is actually going to be for the 2500 series. It's Commander 2 RSM remote speaker mic, and it's brand new in the box. Got a hell of a deal on it, and it's one I'm going to keep. The guy jacked up his price. I offered him a deal on 4 of them. He jacked up his price. I don't blame him for doing it. He's a good seller. He's got these on eBay now. The price that I got for this was really low because he just made a mistake in his listing, and I asked him about it, and he said that's all right. It's not going to affect your sale or my sale to you. So he came through on it. This is an RSM with no top dial channel selection, and this is a Commander 2. These are real nice mics. They're very hard to beat. They look good. They're streamlined. As you can tell, these don't have the channel selection on top, which, you know, something that I would actually prefer. But the deal I got on this mic was really, really good. It was on a buy it now. I grabbed it. As you can tell, it has a real good schematic. You can freeze on this. I'm not going to go through it. You can freeze on this. I've got a couple things I want to do. One thing I want to do is, I did recase this. You've seen the video on this. I am going to go ahead and, as you can tell on these radios, make sure I'm on the right channel. I've done this once, and I wasn't satisfied with the video results because it didn't come out. Video quality just wasn't there. It's not really there.
Adrian Police Department.
Fucking channel announcement. I'm taking that off of there. Okay, intelligent. Ah, shit. Intelligent. Come on, you son of a bitch. Intelligent auto. God. This camera is a pain in the fucking ass. I'm sorry, but it is. Anyway, my battery's just about dead on this. This needs to be, I'm reconditioning my batteries. What is this? How much do I got left? Well, anyway, I've been sick and I'm not feeling too swift, but check. Turn it up. Check. Now, so what I did was I recased this, pulled the case off. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to do it quickly because I really don't want to mess around with this. If you have any concerns with electrostatic discharge, use a wristband. Actually, one on your ankle will work. Disconnect that. Disconnect the battery. Disconnect the antenna. The reason you disconnect the antenna is once you pull this off, pull the radio out of the housing, you can snap that antenna shaft really easily. Make sure you take your antenna off first. If you get anything with an XTS, but the first accessory you're going to buy if you have an XTS should be this, because if you don't, it's just going to fuck it up. And I'll show you. Give me a second. My camera's in the frame. And she's in the frame. Anyway. For something like this tool comes in handy in several ways. Don't pay 24 bucks, $24.99 like on eBay. This thing is about $6.99 from any Motorola dealer. Anybody who sells it for that much is fucking you over. Don't pay that much for it. When you go to put on a desk cover, you've got the top part and you've got this part. Put this on the top first. Take your thumb, maintain even pressure, and put more pressure on it as you slide down and slide it on. Now you can see there's indentions here. You see one here and you see one here. See if I can get it on there. Nothing's working out today. Damn it, I just don't feel good. Okay, you see that? Almost need a light in the background to get it. Damn it, I had it on the other one. Okay, you see it right there? Yeah, it may sound like I'm pissed in half the videos. The videos are a bitch to make. That's why I'm like, I am short on patience and cuss a lot. Making these videos takes a lot of time and it's not easy to fucking do, so I'm never in a good mood when I'm making these videos. Anyway, I slip this off using this. It's a non-marring tool, and you slip this off like this. Now you can slip it off using a flathead screwdriver. You do that, you're going to fuck up this. You're going to mar it up. If you go from the top, you're definitely going to fuck it up. Don't ever take a desk cover off like this off an XTS radio from the top. If you take it off from the top, it's going to be a real bitch and you're going to fuck this up. Don't do that. I've had several radios that show indentions of that. Do not do that. Don't engrave your radios. You know, UV them. There's so many different ways that you can mark a radio, and engraving doesn't really do anything but fuck the radio's value over. A lot of people will try to do the Jedi series deal and take a screwdriver and try and dislodge the case from the housing, dislodge the housing from the radio. Well, you do that, you're going to fuck several things up. You're going to fuck up the O-ring. Yeah, you may get lucky. You know, you may get lucky, but chances are you're not going to get lucky. You're going to fuck this up right down here, and you're going to break it. And the first thing that I did was I got a hold of a PowerPoint presentation. It's called Bat Dude, and you go on the internet, type in Bat Dude XTS5000, 3000, something like that. You'll find his tutorial step by step that shows you how to do this. You've seen me do this on a Model 3. The reason I'm doing it on a Model 5 is just to show you the inside of it. You take this clip, you slide it in the bottom. These teeth engage the top right here. So, you slide it in and you push. As soon as you push, you'll feel pressure releasing. Keep your radio up. Keep it up. Now, as soon as that releases, you hear that click, the radio is free from the housing. You'll see the O-ring. Stop there. Check your LCD. Check to see if it's lined up. Right here, don't take your radio out past that until you've checked the alignment of the LCD. Make sure everything's intact. You'll see the O-ring. The O-ring is undamaged. You can see here, you take a screwdriver and you start prying on this. The first thing you're going to do is crack that O-ring and snap it. So, oh, and by the way, if anybody ever tells me about videos of these things suck, you know, until you have the balls to do it yourself and put a video up, you know, don't come crying to me about a shitty video. Until you can pull a radio apart on your own, you know. Okay, there's the flex. Now there's a post that this rides in, the LCD. I'm taking off the flex. You just flip it up with your finger. It's very brittle. This is the LCD. And there's the O-ring. This is shit that I didn't want to happen, but it's shit that does happen. You've got to make sure that LCD is seated correctly on the post. And I'm kind of glad that this happened, just for just to kind of show you how much of a bitch it is to deal with some of these O-rings. If the O-ring does start coming off on you, make sure that you put it on. Try and put it on the exact same way that you took it off, or that it's coming off, because they're hard to get back on. But don't let your radio, your housing, when you're trying to take the housing off, pull it directly up, because this will slip off the post. There's a flex under here. It's very brittle. Look at your LCD, and I can see there's a mark on the LCD. I'm going to go ahead and very gently clean that glass. It's one that I missed, and I probably wasn't on there to begin with. But one thing you've got to dick with is these O-rings. And you've got to get them on right. Because if you don't get them on right, your radio's not going to be sealed properly. But that is the inside of an XTS5000. The keypad, you take the keypad off. The keypad has the flex on it. You can look at my 3000 video. This does have the tri-algorithm encryption. Okay, so to put this back on, you've got an AN connector. 3000s have an AN and a BN. This is an AN. All 5000s have ANs. When you go with the 3000, if you look on the model number designation, if it says, if the last two characters are AN, try and pass that radio up, because if you ever try, what they did was Motorola had an AN connector. You can see how brittle these things are. They're very, very, very brittle. And these connectors are even more brittle than a 3000 BN connector. AN connectors are just a disaster. These aren't. They're made a little bit better. You do have the positive push to talk on a 5000. You don't on a 3000. You can see the quality. It's so much better than the 3000 inside. It just looks so much better, and it's made so much better. 3000s, the meg count is different. Here's the connector. When you go to connect this back on, you've got a rubber bumper here. Use that. You slip it on. You made it on. Once you made it on, you'll feel a gentle click. Then you've got the flex mounted on. Hold it right there and gently watch everything when you start putting this together, because this is where a lot of people mess up. Make sure that those posts, that LCD is on the post. There are two of them. Make sure that they are. Make sure that everything is lined up. Slide it in. I'm trying to get a good angle on it. You'll feel suction when you push upwards on this. Okay, it's seated in the right position. Push it in this far. Once you have it in this far, take your tool, invert it. When you took it out, make sure you line this up right. Okay, you invert your tool, and this is where people mess up even with these tools. Make sure that you use this tool correctly. Invert the tool, and then slowly check your O-ring. Make sure it's lined up. Check it from the bottom here too. And press. Slip it out. The radio's intact. Okay. Now, clean the screen a little bit with my shirt. It's probably how some of these screens have got little hairline scratches. But anyway, you can see along the radio no signs of an O-ring mistake. Okay. So, put your antenna back on. Don't be in a hurry when you do this either. I'm kind of in a hurry, but not that big of a hurry. You shouldn't be in a hurry when you fuck with radios. But as you can see, no signs of O-ring showing. If the O-ring shows, it's not that big of a deal. Take it out before, you know, if it'll pinch along the rails. And you also need to line up. There's a brown finger you need to line up on the other side. It just mates against the case. You slide your battery on, you pop it on. Go ahead and put the adapter on. Power it up. There you go. And let me get away from this so I won't get so much feedback. I always get feedback and hum. Check, check, check. Okay. There's that one. And there's my cat. Check, check. Check, check, check. So, once you have that, also go in, put your radio on the CPS if you have it. Also test the test the side connector. Test the side connector. Damn it. Check, check, check. Radios are way too close together. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Sorry about the feedback. I can't do anything about it. But that looks pretty good with that on there. I like that. But yeah, that's how you recase a radio. Check, check. Son of a bitch. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. That's the first time I've actually tested that mic. But anyway, you do need one of these. Get it. Because you'll be glad you did. Always test your radios, then put it on the CPS. Make sure it runs right, it will. You do it that way, you won't have any problem. If you do it with a screwdriver, you're going to fuck it up, and you're going to be out a lot of money, and you're going to be really bummed out. But if you don't use this tool and you don't invert that tool, those prongs that you saw going in here will actually put depressions. You'll see 2 depressions on here. That's because they didn't invert that tool. You know, when you take one of these off. By the way, I'm really pushed this week, but I am going to get those radios out to you. I've got, you know the number, I think, but I'm going to shoot them all out to you. Oh, by the way, whoever grabbed that XTS5000 Model 2 for $285, you're very lucky because I only missed it by about 30 seconds. And I was right on your ass. Good score, whoever got that. It's an 800 megahertz. But yeah, these prongs, when you slide this in, you need to invert this because there are 2 teeth that keeps the case on. Yeah, whoever got that XTS Model 2 in 800 megahertz, I was after that bad son of a bitch. That thing's going on the CPS before I do anything else to it. But yeah, these radios are going to be going out to you. They need firmware upgrades, you know that. This housing, not a bad housing for a Model 3. You know, safety yellow is a good option to have. You know, it took some cleaning, but it didn't turn out too bad. And you know, pretty nice case all in all. Everything's intact. And you know, that's the AN connector. A lot of little prongs on here. You know, I mean, there's a lot. I screwed up one flex on a 3000 just by, I was removing the flex and one of the prongs, one of the pieces got hooked, and for some reason it just fucked it up. That's why in those videos you see me going through, and actually that was a good thing because I learned how to actually remove the controls from housings. And you know, so I mean, you learn as you go. But yeah, you need to observe everything you're doing when you do stuff like this. It is a pain in the ass. It's you know, if you're doing it for the first time, it's scary. When you do it for the 100th time, it's scary. Until you power up your radio and you get that thing working, the whole time you're doing it, you really can't let it get to you, because I mean, the whole time you're doing it, if you're doing it thinking, I wonder if I'm going to fuck this up, I wonder if I'm going to fuck this up, chances are you're thinking about that, and as you're thinking about that, you're missing something. And that was kind of what happened on a 3000 I had when I was trying to rehouse it. I was worried about it. It was an AM connector, and I was thinking, man, I hope I don't fuck this up. Man, I hope I don't mess it up. You know, geez, I really hope it, you know, hope it works. And your head will get ahead of you. If you start thinking like that, chances are you're going to make mistakes. You've got to have time to do it. It doesn't take long to do, and you know, it doesn't take long at all to do. And once you do it, you'll be really, really happy. But if you do mess with radios very much, especially high-tier radios like this, there's a lot that you need to be careful with. And you know, don't use a knockoff cable. You know, anybody who uses a knockoff cable, yeah, they work, but I would never use it on a 5000. I just wouldn't. And I've got enough 5000s to really, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but it is, because these things aren't cheap, and the money I have tied up in them is not money I want to lose. So, you know, I mean, just common sense. You know, replacing something like this, about the last 5 that I've taken off, the fucking insert has come out with it. It's a real pain in the ass. Now I need to buy inserts. They're insert retainers. I don't know why they're doing it lately, but they are. The FDNY knobs being a pain in the ass on me. But at the same time, when you put a new insert on, and I'm down to one, all of them have new inserts. That keeps it from the side to side. You know, it keeps them from getting loose. If you can hold a radio like this, when the radio's got, you know, when it's on there, if you can hold that, and if the thing drops and the piece comes off in your hand, time for a new insert retainer. No big deal. Chances are the best thing to do would be to buy the insert and buy the knob at the same time. Just buy both assemblies. In fact, I think there's 3 parts to this, but go ahead and just buy the whole assembly, or just buy the housing. You know, go on eBay. You've seen the housings on there. Pick one up. You know, these housings aren't that much, and you know, to get a new flex and new controls, it's not bad. It's a good deal. It really is. But yeah, you know, this case could be a little better, but at the same time, it's not bad. Yellow, safety yellow. I'm not crazy about safety yellow, but at the same time I want that option. And I want to be able to, you know, there's a lot of firefighters who, you know, always seem to want safety yellow. I can see why they do, but it's good to have that option to offer them. And so I went ahead and I picked this one up. I was going to get one anyway, but you know, but yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with the way the guy conducted himself business-wise, but I'm not going to say who it is because it doesn't really fucking matter. Main thing is when you deal with anybody, just make sure that you know who you're dealing with halfway. If you can't make sure you know who you're dealing with, buy it through the proper channels. If I had to buy that housing again, I would, from the same guy, because he wasn't bad. He just wasn't very good with communication, and I'm a stickler for that. And you know, I mean, if I buy something, I don't care who you are. I've had people, you know, write me after, you know, 4 hours saying, you know, where's my radio? I'm serious, I literally have. And by the way, this radio is going up on eBay. And this one's got the voice module on it. This is my last Forest radio. UHF, R-split, beautiful. Great radio. Let's see, where is that? Message. Voice storage, okay. You tell about voice storage when you go in and you actually push through the menus and you see, you know, you can play that back. I'm not going to. I'm tired. It's been a long day, and I'm sick. I've been sick all weekend, and that's why I haven't gotten around to boxing them up. I've just been sick. I'm still sick, but I've got stuff I've got to do. Tomorrow I'm going to get these things out to you. Thanks so much for the help. And guys, take it easy later on. That's how you recase, rehouse a Model 3 or a Model 2 or anything in an XTS5000. And pretty much in an XTS in general. 3000, 5000. Same principles apply. Get this tool. You won't be sorry you did. But damn, 27 minutes in, fuck this. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Oh, thanks for telling me you wanted them all in the same video. I was going to break them up, but you know, with the limited knowledge of video I have, what I have to do is I have to push the camera, turn it off, and then turn it back on. I can't edit. I just can't do this shit. But anyway, guys, take it easy later on. That is a good recase on a really nice 5000. I just couldn't leave that ratty case on there. But at the same time, not a bad case. Just, you know, seen better days. Anyway, guys, take it easy later on.